A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. The U.S. government shutdown has now reached its 22nd day, marking the second longest federal funding lapse in history, with no clear resolution on the horizon. This shutdown, which began on October 1st, has brought significant disruption to federal operations and has left countless federal employees in a state of uncertainty as they miss their first full paycheck this week. The current impasse is largely a result of Senate Democrats refusing to support a short-term government funding bill proposed by Republicans, citing the absence of critical healthcare provisions. Democrats are insisting that any funding bill must include an extension of enhanced tax credits under the Affordable Care Act, ACA, which are set to expire at the end of the year. Without these credits, millions of Americans could face soaring health insurance premiums in 2026. Meanwhile, Republicans have accused their Democratic counterparts of holding the government hostage, asserting that they will not engage in discussions regarding healthcare until the government is reopened. The Senate, which currently has a Republican majority of 53 to 47, requires 60 votes to pass any funding legislation, making bipartisan cooperation essential. However, a stopgap funding resolution previously approved by the House has failed to gain traction in the Senate, with attempts to advance it failing 11 times. Additionally, a Republican-sponsored bill aimed solely at military funding was also rejected in a procedural vote last Thursday. As the Senate prepared for another vote on a clean funding bill, Senate Majority Leader John Thune expressed frustration, stating, "We have negotiated. I don't know what there is to negotiate." He emphasized that the focus should be on reopening the government and criticized Democrats for their demands, which he described as untenable. In contrast, Democratic leaders have been vocal about the need for President Trump to engage in negotiations to resolve the shutdown. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has urged Trump not to leave for his upcoming trip to Asia without first addressing the funding crisis. He highlighted the ongoing healthcare crisis, stating, "The country is in a healthcare crisis unlike we've ever seen, and Donald Trump should sit down and negotiate with us." Schumer's call for negotiation comes as federal courts are set to lose funding for full operations starting Monday, further complicating the situation. The House of Representatives has been out of session for 4 consecutive weeks, but a group of moderate Republicans has reached out to Speaker Mike Johnson, urging him to prioritize the expiring Obamacare tax credits, although they acknowledge that this should be addressed after the government is reopened. The lack of direct communication between the White House and Democratic leaders has raised concerns about the possibility of a resolution. Schumer noted that they had not received a direct response to their request for a meeting with Trump, indicating a lack of willingness to engage in dialogue. The ongoing stalemate has left many Americans anxious about the potential ramifications of a prolonged shutdown, particularly regarding their healthcare coverage. As the shutdown continues, the economic impact is expected to deepen, with federal workers facing financial strain and critical government services being disrupted. With both parties entrenched in their positions, the path to a resolution remains uncertain, and the potential for the shutdown to extend into November looms large. The political landscape is fraught with tension as both sides grapple with the implications of the shutdown, and the American people await a solution that will restore normalcy to federal operations and ensure access to essential services. As the situation develops, all eyes will be on Washington to see if lawmakers can find common ground and bring an end to this historic government shutdown. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.